Hello everybody and welcome back to Vampire the Masquerade, Coteries of New York. Let's just jump right in, huh? It doesn't
Yeah.
take you long to locate this Bruce guy. He sits alone in a corner, 2 beer glasses already empty on his table. You take a moment to consider your approach. What were we
Properly
supposed to
possessed.
do? Were we supposed to beat this guy up?
I do not remember.
Look around for a guy named Bruce. Somebody's retainer, send your spy on us. Get the name of his master, write it on the card. Okay, so we're not supposed to beat him up. We're supposed to get the name of his guy.
Yeah, the guy who he's working for.
Feeding opportunity. Shit, when's the last time we ate? It's a new session, so we've forgotten a lot.
I think we did, like he previously.
If we use presents, they'll be like, oh, how'd you know to do that already, huh?
Maybe.
But if we get him drunk... This seems like a really bad idea. Just going off and fucking up some drunk dude.
Mm-hmm.
Should we get him drunk and talkative? That doesn't sound very good, though. What do you think?
Might not. I think we should use presents, personally.
Alright, we'll give it a shot. The man immediately notices you, but doesn't move from his spot. The other seats are empty. When you focus the blood and boost your attractiveness, it's not just Bruce who notices. He's into you. So are other people, doing double takes as they pass your table. Fuck! I did not consider the proximity of where we were. Oh dear! What was that one
Well
game,
done.
Hatred? Where you play as the dude who just wants to murder people? He looks like a grunge rocker. This is fucking great.
He does.
Alright, do you want to be Bruce?
That can be Bruce. Hey, you, have I seen you here before?
It's possible. I'm a regular at this joint.
Oh, are you? That's weird. This place is kind of a dump.
Ask about the name, nicely. I know you're here because somebody asked you to spy on this place. It'd make me really happy if you gave me their name.
What do you mean, Sam?
Punctuation. No? Okay.
Ellipses question mark.
No, he said, what? Do you mean Sam? And you said, what do you mean, Sam? As if we were Sam. Never mind. He catches himself, realizes what you're doing. His eyes dart over to your shoulder. You thought you had him cornered, but he suddenly leaps over the table in one smooth move and dashes through the sparse crowd. You catch up to him outside. He's bolting, alright.
We can do that.
Sure, throwing caution to the wind, you focus your blood and give chase after Bruce. He might be faster than a human, but his abilities are a fraction of yours. He dashes into a nearby alley, and you follow suit. Before you can jump the fence, you tackle him to the ground. A short brawl later, you're standing a few meters apart, Bruce eyeing you with hatred. Here's the deal. You tell me your master's name, you save yourself a world of hurt. Unless you want to exit this alley on a stretcher, you'd better...
Whack.
Bruce doesn't wait for you to finish talking. He jumps at you, kicking and punching with dizzying speed. He takes you by surprise, and he puts you on the defensive. Just as you're about to retaliate, he breaks away, jumps at the fence at the end of the alley, and is gone into parts of the city unfucking known. Damn it!
No,
Time to
should
leave
beat him
something
up.
for Mia. You borrow a pen from the bar and flip Mia's note to the other side. Sam. That's all you got. It's not much. Could be a full name or a fragment. Male or female. Well, it's something at least. You could pull a name out of your ass or let Mia figure it out. Sam. Mia asked you for a name, but if all you have is a fragment, it'll have to do. You jot down a note. Bruce deferred to his master as Sam. You pass a piece of paper to the bartender. She sticks it back with the same book. Hold on 1 second. She asked me to pass something to you. She produces... Fuck. A cell phone from behind the counter. It's ancient. At least 15 years out of date. Alright, and this. An old charger. They really did think of everything. She said she'll be in touch. It takes you a moment to remind yourself how to operate this thing. And you find that its phone book is blank. There's no Wi-Fi connectivity, no saved messages. It's got a version of Snake, though. Hell yeah!
Fuck yeah.
The bartender is already over at the other end of her domain, taking orders from patrons. With your Anarch contact nowhere in sight, you decide to move on for the night. Hopefully your educated guesses based on the scraps of info you collected will be enough for me to call you. Yeah, I should have just beat the shit out of that dude. Damn it. That was my bad. Alright. Who should we see? Confront her with Sophie by your side. I'm kind of interested in what she's up to, but...
Yeah, Agathon is interesting.
Bloodman also interests me. Then again, learning about Faith and the vampire hunters that are after us. Hope kind of scares me a little bit.
It was pretty accurate to the kind of vampire she is.
Yeah.
I suppose.
Why don't you pick? Who should we go after?
Let's go with the gangrel. Wild lady.
Alright. Upon return to your haven, you find a small scrap of paper. Need a favor. If you're still up for it, maybe in the prospect. Okay. Time to offend some people with my voice. Once again, you cross the gate of Prospect Park and head straight for where you last saw the feral duo. Minutes pass. Finding no sign of Tamika, you begin to worry that something might have happened to her. Suddenly, you hear a rustling coming from the nearby bushes. It's not the stray cat kind of rustling either.
No. Easy. Move.
Hey, you in the bushes. You know I can hear you, right? The rustling stops, if only for a second. Suddenly, the bushes part and Raoul walks out, desperately trying to look confident.
Yeah, it's only because I wanted you to. Listen, I wanted to have a word before Tam gets here. She seems to like you for whatever strange reason. But the way I see it, you're a nuisance at best.
Cool.
At worst, you're a threat.
Threat to your status as a bitch.
Shut up.
You don't like me. I get it. You
Is
don't
there a
like
point
me.
to this speech?
Forgive me if I don't lose any sleep over it.
You should be, because when I don't like someone, I do something about it. It's usually not pleasant. Tamika is my sister in every sense of the word. That counts. Anything that happens to her that I find even remotely your fault, I'm coming after you.
Fair enough.
Is that clear? Crystal, now fuck off.
Tamika seems pretty capable. I don't think she needs you babysitting her.
Oh, she's plenty capable. Given the opportunity, she'll rip your guts out if you cross her. What I'm saying is, if anything happens to Tamika, I'm holding you accountable.
All of a sudden, the sound of footsteps reaches your ears. It's still faint enough to not be ostentatious, but still loud enough to hear. You can tell that whoever's approaching wants to make their presence known. Both you and Raoul turn just in time to see Tamika emerge from the old... fucking damn it! Behind the old sycamore tree. It's hard to tell just how long she's been listening in on your conversation. In any case, she walks up and speaks, addressing no one in particular. Did I miss anything? Your brother's worried.
Your brother's being an asshole.
He seems to think I'm a bad influence. Oh. In an instant, her voice goes from mockingly sweet to stern and unyielding. Her next words sound like a challenge. Is that true, Raoul? You think I can't take care of myself?
God damn it, Tam. It's not what this is about, and you know it.
I know, big brother. You meant well. You always mean well.
Screw it. Why do I even bother?
And with that, Raoul takes his leave. Tamika waits in silence, just long enough to make sure he can no longer hear her, and addresses you. I have a favor to ask. I like my favor. Yeah, let's be nice. Okay,
Yeah.
What is it? I have an errand to run. I was hoping you'd come with me. There's a place east of here. It's a short walk. We should be back in about 2, maybe 3 hours. We're walking? As in on foot? In New York City. I don't like cars, alright? They remind me of old times, before I became... this. It could be distracting.
Fair
So,
enough.
can we go? What's this about? You're being awfully mysterious. Can't you just tell me what this is about? It's a private matter. I'll explain later. It's nothing shady, I promise. That's what you would say if it was something shady. And so you head towards the parking lot, accompanied by Tamika and a lot of unanswered questions. Oh, pretty. Following Tamika's directions, you finally arrive at the Evergreen Cemetery, one of the oldest burying grounds in Brooklyn. You enter through the southwestern gate and follow your companion through a sea of tombstones. It's a nice enough place as far as graveyards go, much less homogenized than the usual flat field littered with identical markers. Tamika confidently presses on, swerving and weaving along a pre-programmed path. It's clear that she's been here more than a few times. Finally, she makes a sharp left and takes a few more steps down a gravel walkway, coming to a sudden stop in front of a modest headstone. The inscription reads, Luca Santiago, beloved sister and daughter, born 1991, taken from us too soon. With her eyes fixed on the grave site, she lets out an absent-minded utterance. I need a moment. Alone. Not long. 5 minutes at the most. You look around and search for a good spot to wait for her and pass the time. At the far end of a nearby lawn, you notice a lone bench situated under a weeping willow. Suddenly you hear voices. Distant, but slowly approaching. Judging by the tone and timbre, you're guessing it's a couple teenagers out to get their late-night kicks among the dearly departed. Might be a good chance to feed. Then again, you could just pass the time walking around the area. It's actually quite nice. No, we need to feed.
Thought it would be a good idea.
Yeah.
Just in case.
Take your time. I think I'll go grab myself a drink. Just do it quietly. I don't want any trouble. Not here. You leave Tamika alone and follow the voices. Soon enough, you come upon a couple in their late teens. Judging by their thick... Oh, no! Judging by their thick eyeliner and their clothes, consisting mostly of black leather and lace, you'd venture to guess they love nothing more than to meet an actual vampire. You're happy to oblige. As you move from the shadows, you can feel all... Okay, you can feel all... Oh my god, I can't read. You can feel your all intensify. The boys and girls watch you, completely awestruck, waiting for you to approach. The slightest gesture is enough to shoo the boy away. He sits on a nearby bench and watches, completely enamored, as your lips press against the girl's neck. It's a weird sensation to feel actual, honest-to-God pride in a victim's blood. But here you are. She's glad to have been chosen in this way. You decide there's no good reason to discriminate, and also take a sip from the guy. His B.O. is pretty terrible, but a taste of his blood isn't half bad. Hoping the teen's post-kiss days will make your face just an impression on their memory, you leave them on the bench, as they let their excited hormones run wild and start making out furiously.
Well then.
You know what? Fine. You half expect Kadir to materialize sword in hand to deal with these loose ends, or with you for leaving them to roam like you did. You'll need to be more
Nothing
careful.
Personnel, kid.
Teleports behind you, throws 1,000 knives. Psh, nothing personnel, kid. Finally, you get back to the tree and find Tamika sitting on the bench. Without a word, you sit next to her. You look over at her, doing your best not to stare. She looks down, crossing her arms and putting her hands on her shoulders. In an instant, the furious savage disappears, replaced by a vulnerable young woman. Ferocious, my bad. I think I'm done. You okay? I'm better now. Sorry. I guess I should tell you what that was about. I'd be appreciative. She looks away. You can tell she's struggling to open up to you, so you remain silent, trying not to make her uncomfortable. I was embraced not far from here, in this cemetery. A fitting spot, I suppose. It was close to a decade ago. I'd been on the road for a couple years at that point, hitchhiking from one town to another. New York was supposed to be just another stop. And then I met Jezebel. She was strong, smart, independent. What the okay, that scared me. I saw my dog out of the corner of my eye, and I thought it was someone walking into my room. Freaked me out.
Wow.
Someone I could get close to. She never made me feel inadequate or ashamed. And she could hold her own in a fist fight, too. Funny thing, though, she only wanted to meet during nighttime. I didn't think much of it, even came up with the excuses for her. Busy, eccentric, whatever worked. Until one night, she sank her teeth into my neck. She's still around? You keep using the past tense. I take it she's no longer around? She's not dead, if that's what you're asking. At least not that I know of. She left soon after turning me. I think the conclave of Prague really shook her up. The what? Wait, the conclave of what now? Prague. It's a city in Central Europe. It was supposed to be neutral ground, a good place to discuss politics and strategy. It ended up almost turning into a civil war. Next thing you know, the anarchs were expunged from the Camarilla. All they had done for our kind, the blood they spilled, didn't amount to a thing. I can't blame Jezebel for feeling betrayed, but yeah, even though I still had Raoul and Luca, I was still furious and terrified. Luca died a few years later. Operation Lights Out, they called it. It was a coordinated
Oh.
assault by the Second Inquisition, and a genocide by any other name. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Her family got together, bought up a plot, and buried an empty casket. I guess they wanted some closure. Can't fault them for that. Even though she's not really here, I like to come and visit from time to time. It reminds me of who I am. Keeps me in check. Keeps the beast at bay. Also, this being the place of my embrace, you have to appreciate that level of irony. She straightens up and looks at you as if something just occurred to her. Sorry.
Alright, you're here too.
Yeah. Sorry, I don't know what came over me. One minute I'm all grunts and stares, and the next I'm giving you my biography. I guess I'm just tired of being scared, alone.
Single?
She already has a place where she belongs.
Yeah, you don't have to
Family.
be alone. I think that's a better one.
You don't have to be alone. I used to think so, but those were simpler times. At this point, I'm just looking for something to believe in. Someone I could give a damn about.
You have Raoul.
You will always have Raoul. She smiles sadly. Will I? Don't get me wrong, Raoul is my brother. The bond between us is not easily broken. But he's got ideas and ambitions of his own. He won't always be there to watch my back. I can't
That's
expect
true.
that of him. You open your mouth, but before you can make a sound, Tamika motions at you to keep quiet. She lifts her head and sniffs at the air. Your ears perk up and her eyes widen. Suddenly, she pushes you with all her strength, sending you flying off the bench. Before you even hit the ground, an immense shape flies into view and smashes down into the bench, splintering it to pieces. With the blood surging through your veins, you pounce to your feet, looking at the massive fur— oh, it's a werewolf. Like the massive fur and muscles that nearly pulverized you, the creature rears its head and gives a deranged stare. It then turns to Tamika. She seems utterly terrified, frozen in place as if she literally just saw a ghost. You notice the creature shift its weight, as if preparing to pounce. Attack!
Attack!
Feeling as if your muscles have turned to steel, you ram the creature before it can throw itself at Tamika. The beast flies through the air and smashes its back against a tree. In a matter of seconds, however, it gets back to its feet. Your attack might have surprised it, but it clearly didn't do any real damage. The creature then turns towards you. For a second or two, it moves its mouth awkwardly, as if trying to remember how to form words. Stay off my ground! The creature runs off towards a nearby clearing, when all of a sudden, a gunshot sends it tumbling to the ground. Oh, fuck. A group of well-armed men in body armor emerge from the shadows in an orderly formation and move in closer around the creature. We should go.
Retreat.
Not sure what to make of what's happening, you figure the best to get out of sight. As you start backing away to the nearby bushes, you notice Tamika following your lead. From the relative safety of the thick foliage, you watch in silence as the group of our men subdue the creature, using steel nets and cattle prods. And in the corner of your eye, you catch Tamika looking away, as if she finds this whole spectacle somehow distasteful. She speaks under her breath, her voice shaking. Can we get out of here? You see no reason to object. The walk back turns out to be a quiet and somber experience. You both walk in silence. The city a blur of lights and cars careening by. You look over to Tamika. She seems lost in her thoughts. Finally, you decide to break the silence. Well, I have an idea of who those guys were. They were the fucking dudes
What
who
was
attacked
that thing,
us.
though?
Yeah,
She's
what was that?
terrified, so she encountered this thing before.
Or she knows something about it. What the hell was that back there? A werewolf? No, if it were, we probably wouldn't be talking right now. Still, in a way, that might have been preferable. She rubs her temples, trying to collect her thoughts. Among those of my clan, we tell stories about the scarred one. Oh, crap. What a time to end, huh? Alright,
Yep.
thank you for watching, and we'll see you later.
Adios.